In this last part of the week 4 videos, this is going to be a relatively shorter video. I would like to pick up on a comment that someone made in one of the discussion groups. Someone posted an article that says that the idea of failed state is an idea that serves Western countries, and that basically a failed state is whichever country you want to be able to invade or change the government of, you say that it's a failed state, that its institutions have broken, which is pretty much what's happening right now in Venezuela. You might have noticed some of you have posted about Venezuela. And the problem with this kind of situation is the current government of Venezuela really bad? Are they starving their own people? Have a lot of people fled Venezuela? Is there an humanitarian crisis in Venezuela? Yes. Does the United States, because of this, have the right to recognize a new government in Venezuela and try to dethrone Maduro? No, they don't. And also, one might ask, why haven't they done the same in Syria, where a civil war has been raging for many years now, and no one has deposed Assad yet? Okay? It's true that to stay in power, dictatorships need to deliver something to citizens. So when a dictatorship falls apart, normally it's replaced by another dictatorship or by democracy. There are some places where this delivery of services to people doesn't even exist, and the book calls them kleptocracies, which is from the Greek kleptis. Kleptis means thief. You might also know the word kleptomania, kleptomaniac. It's people who compulsively steal or like shoplift. And this is the same for government. So kleptocracy, power by stealing, thief, rule. Okay. The last important part of this chapter has to do with an evaluation of liberal democracy. We need to be able to put together a criticism of liberal democracy, but at the same time, we also need to be able to say why it's still better. The main argument in favor of liberal democracy is that we're free from coercion, we vote in elections, and we can ask politicians to do stuff for us. And we really can, although most people don't think that this is possible. What matters here is that you have enough people who agree with you that we should do something about some sort of issue. And if you have enough people behind you, then maybe you can get a ballot measure and you can vote for something such as, I don't know, legalizing marijuana, to make a famous example from the last few years. Enough people agreed with the fact that we should legalize marijuana, and so we got it legal in Oregon. Of course, priorities are the difference between different people. For some people, low-income housing matters more than, say, a new police department or stronger police. For some people, freedom of speech matters more than sexual harassment. And putting together all the preferences of the people is very hard, which is why democracy is so messy. But the fact that it's messy doesn't mean that it's not better than authoritarianism. And so the criticism from people who are more authoritarian say, for example, fascists say that you need a strong leader and that democracy doesn't have strong leadership, and so it's bad. A more left-wing kind of criticism from communists and socialists say that rich people are trying to trick you into voting for them, and so democracy is a scam. The criticism from Islamism or from the religious right in the US, which is not really a critique of democracy, it's a critique of secularism. These people say, well, we want to be able to impose a religious value on the whole of society. So a lot of people are frustrated with democracy in the US for these exact same reasons, either because they think that rich people have too much power and want to transfer money to the poor, or because they want to impose their personal values on the whole of society and like decide that we should all be pro-life and anti-abortion, for example. Okay, this is it for week 4. I'm looking forward to read your cooperative papers. Please watch these videos. Many people haven't watched these videos in week 3, but I think that it's also because I haven't put them under the modules section. This time I'll remember to put them under modules and not just in my announcement. And I'm looking forward to reading your papers pretty soon.